So I'm about to start my presentation. I made a resume that listed my basic information. In addition to that, I also included links of my social networking sites as well as an online resume that I signed out on LinkedIn. What I hope to achieve through this work placement were as following. First of all, as a native speaker, I would like to have more opportunities to communicate with local people as a way to improve my speaking and communication skills. Secondly, I hope to improve my professional skills by being involved in this event in my field, and in turn ensuring personal growth within the organization. I believe that my communication and functional skills will enable me in facing the challenge career ahead. The first job I got was at a vintage salon in Birmingham that needed volunteers to help them with their Halloween party. The founder, Lindsay, opened this branch in Birmingham back in 2010 and was started out as a popular ritual party venue. They are now a salon, milkshake bar, pinup photo studio, and party venue. They also offer services for booking birthday parties, makeup, vintage hair training courses, haircut and coloring, and etc. So for the first job, I work as a volunteer to assist behind the scene at a Halloween party, also assisted with data and cleanup. In that position, I have to be punctual for my duty and shift. The organizer set out a timetable which definitely improved efficiency and accuracy. In fact, so as not to be late, I arrived at the venue half an hour early. I thought it might bring a good impression on the first meeting. Besides that, I could get more familiar with my task. Sonia was in charge of the party that night. She was very warm and friendly to me. She first introduced me of the venue and the Halloween night's program, informed me in detail of the night's task, and I dedicated that I'm really confident to use my initiative and flexibility to mock him. That was totally a great night. So the second job, I volunteering in the Bird Poetry Festival, which is a 4-day festival hosted at the Birmingham City Centre. From the idea floating on Twitter to a whirlwind force in the poetry world. Bird Poetry Festival are proud to be home for brilliant poets and lovers. Now is its 4th year. I was assigned to the job of receptionist at the front desk as well as using social media to promote the festival. As a receptionist, I have to perform various tasks, such as greet visitors, take visitors to the proper place, distribute stickers for the ticket holder, and wristband. Receptionists are often the first employees that the public or customers has contact with. Therefore, I am responsible for making a good first impression for the event, which can affect the organization's success. The Verb Poetry Festival has created loads of buzz, so what I need to do was to share what's happening throughout the festival connects with poetry lovers who couldn't attend. When I was doing the social media task, I and actually wasn't very familiar to use the local social platform before. At the beginning, it was kind of tackle for me to do live tweeting and gramming, because I don't know what sort of content would be more appropriate to post. So I asked another volunteer, and she enthusiastically guided me through the tweet. Stuart is the head of event venues. He runs a large waterstones in Birmingham. In addition to participating in the Verb Poetry Festival, he's also a co-founder and publisher of sister press Verb Poetry. So I thought some advice from him about venue selection. He told me that it depends on what kind of feel I want my guests to have, the way they feel about before, during, and after the events. You'll have a concept of the words that you like them to use to describe the events. Before I try to find a venue, it is essential to have a rough idea of the maximum number of attendees. Well, we all know that it might have have to wait a few days before the event to guarantee the final attendance. And even then, there will still have some margin for error. You have to be sure that the location you pick would not be too small to comfortably accommodate the group, or not too large. This suggestion really provided me with some valuable lessons. This GCCF is the abbreviation of the Governing Council of the Cat Fencing, was founded in 1910 as an independent body and it now has more than 150 members clubs, licenses more than 150 cat shows per year, and registers and transfers over 25,000 pedigree cats per year. The GCCF runs its own cat show, the Supreme Cat Show, which is now held in NEC Birmingham every November. Over 600 cats came and to be vetted in. What I done was to ensure the shows were carried out according to the schedule and completed the task assigned by the manager. Because it is a large and influential event, it attracted probably over 1,000 of participants. By helping with the behind-the-scenes operation of awarding prize, I became generally familiar with the process of running an award competition. Because of the large number of cats participating in this contest, it is not a simple task to get them registered and numbered in an organized manner. The success of an event required the cooperation of several departments, and Linda, who is the volunteer coordinator of this show, asked me to help thought through the documentary of the result and present the award to each contestant. After the show, Linda said that my job had greatly improved their efficiency, and she commented that I am a pretty reliable person and welcomed me to join their team for the next year's events. Another comedy festival I attended was a small event which held in the pub with a few comedy speakers performing, including James Cook, TV actor Grace Berliner, Improved Groove, and others. The event is completely free and proceeds from the events go to the charity. Despite being completely free, it did not start with the expected turnout and many seats were empty. Dave is the organizer. He handed me some pamphlets and required me to pass them around, put out the flyer around the venue, also letting people know when shows are about to start and that kind of things. I noticed that the entire event seems to be advertised through a more traditional promotional ways, which wasn't enough publicity, to the point where there were fewer participants. Indeed, the performers encouraged guests to take photos and post them to the social media and hashtag comedy festival. After the event, I contributed additional time outside of my set hours to stay there and assisted with the cleanup job. I think it was a very successful. So overall, I thought it was a very successful event. But a change in promotion might attract more people, as it is a fast-paced world. Many people are becoming more accustomed to convenience of the computers and smartphones. So make sure the event's marketing efforts reflect the pace of our lives. For the event organizer, consider promoting and selling tickets through online event registration like EventWax. Registration and ticketing are done online. And attendees can use social media such as Twitter and Facebook to let others know they are attending the event. So for what I've done so far, there are some debates in my field, like low attendances. Without big name of an event or publicity trade, it may not have enough delegates to make the event present worthwhile. The Cat Fancy Show, for example, has a certain level of visibility in itself with its own official website and a large number of followers on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and etc. But for some small event organizers, it is necessary to expand the promotion of the event, not just rely on the traditional offline promotional way. Estimating the number of attendees for the event can be really stressful. The food can go to waste, and the room can look empty, and it may lack with an abundance of event swag that will specific to that event only. However, underestimate and maybe live with the hungry guest and the lack of seating and long line at the bar. As Stuart said, it is essential to have a rough idea of your maximum number of attendees. The other one is the traditional promotional methods like flyers and brochures. The powers of hands-out is fairly not enough, although face-to-face is way more connective and interactive. Social media marketing is a powerful way for businesses of all sizes to reach potential customers and clients. Since the customers are already engaging with the brand through social media, but if you're as a as the organizer, if you are not directly engaging with your audience through social platform, you may missing out your clients. Exceptional social media marketing can bring significant success to a business, develop loyal brand advocates, and even drive leads and sales. By participating in these activities as an event assistant or behind the scenes, I have a much clearer idea of the industry I will be working in. I have put the theoretical knowledge I have learned into the practice, and it also makes me consider more factors in organizing an event, such as the choice of venue and what kind of publicity would make it possible to attract more participants. At the same time, those jobs have improved my communication skills as a native speaker. It is encouraged to attend more local events to experience different culture, get out of my comfort zone, and communicate more. This has been important in broadening my horizons and helps me to grow and change my perspective about life, as well as friendships are often formed in every volunteering job. Although due to the limitation of my orals and writing, I am currently unable to perform more professional works. This volunteering experience has provided me with a lot of valuable lessons in the field I will be working in the future. So all in all, I believe this significant experience not only improved my professional skills but also increased my confidence. It met us my major objectives, but I still need to develop regular and substantial and ongoing job. So thank you for your listening.